Hey, everybody. Welcome to Forex.Today. My name is Wayne McDonell, and we're here for our daily Forex trading strategy session. It's approximately 7:30 in the morning New York time, which is approximately London lunch, which is a great time to prepare for the upcoming open of the New York trading session 2 hours from now. Today we are going to do technical analysis of the foreign exchange market. It's going to be great. It's going to be grand. It's going to be good. It's going to be beautiful. Let's get the party started. Karlsruhe, Black Forest, Germany, huh? Sounds neat, Mark. So let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. And please, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Because it is a game of kings and queens, isn't it? Or is that horse racing? My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. We're a boutique foreign exchange brokerage service for serious foreign exchange traders. Do these sessions, like I said, every day. Swing on by Forex.Today. It's free every Friday. I'm at fxstreet.com, but you have to pay money for that. Also host the largest, most popular Forex webinar in the world. We had 1,300 people on Friday, called Trade Non-Farm Payrolls Live, and I am also Forex Speaker of the Year. Yeah, the noise canceling part is canceling it out. This headset's just too good. I'm telling you, it's a pain in the butt. All right, whatever. I was just trying to get Trade the News to blast the morning blast. All right, so foreign exchange market, everybody grab their cup of coffee and take a slurp. So surprisingly, yen pairs have fallen. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, sound canceling. Well, they're 7.1s with a built-in sound card, so they're good for something. Genius, genius. Thank you, Zeal. Zeal, are you killing it? How many people are actually doing very well? Because I helped them set the yens up for November and December, and then I set them up going back the other way. Anyone actually doing very well? Andrew, Ron. Cool. Andrew has to pay for a 300-year-old house. He needs money to burn. Green, killing pound yen. So did you long them in the fall, and now you're dumping all those positions? That's the best, isn't it? Right? Isn't that the best? Or you're like, I bought it all up and then I'm dumping it all. It's just great. It feels like the natural cycle, right? Cool, man. Coolio. So I had a friend call me last night and he's like, "Hey man, I got a whole bunch of euros coming in. Should I hold them? Should I dump them?" I'm like, "Well, what time frame are you talking about?" And he's like, "Tomorrow." Like, that's it. So so I look at the charts. What did I open up here? Where was it? We were right on one of the pivots. Of course, I didn't tell him about pivots and stuff, but what chart were we at? Anyways, I can't figure out where I was, but it must have been this pivot here, right? And I'm like, well, this isn't the right chart either. Maybe it was this one. Back out. It was on some line. I forget what it was. I mean, clearly resistance, right? But it was on some line, and it wasn't a daily. I thought maybe it was a weekly pivot, but anyways, it was right on some line in which, on the short term, it was likely to stay down, but on the longer term, like a 4 hour, it could go up. That's what he wanted to know. If he had a bunch of euro coming in, should he dump it immediately, or should he ride it up? Right. So we were actually just down here because this was yesterday afternoon, right? So we were just down in there. And I'm like, well, it could do either, which is the one answer that makes you look like an idiot, right? But it was true. At that time, the hourly wanted to fall. So we were in here, I think, right? Or here, maybe. Was it here? Yesterday? I don't know. New York yesterday. Oh, no. New York yesterday. It was just in that right spot where it looked like maybe it could hang around, but, the timing of it wasn't that great. So I'm like, there's no good reason to hold a euro. I had to default back to that. Like, whatever happens, there's no good logical reason to hold a euro, which sucks if you're European, right? So you can explain it this way. Well, your economy is in crisis still. We went from the financial crash to Gre- the Greek default to Spanish and Italian bank stuff, and now Brexit, and you know, so on and so forth. Like, I don't know. We got a long ways to go. So the leaders politically have decided to do nothing. And the financiers of this whole debacle called the Eurozone have decided to do less in the face of continued adversity. They're like, well, what we've done hasn't worked, so we will continue doing that, but just on a smaller scale. I mean, it's just funny, right? Isn't it? I mean, like, seriously, what kind of analogy should we do? Use in this situation, right? I mean, we're losing the war, so let's just try less. Let's just lay down. Lay down your sweet head. I love the Eurozone, but it makes me wanna cry. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. I just honestly don't get it. And I used to be a giant fan of the euro. Loved it when it was going up. But yeah, like who could, right? But on the short term, and this is what you have to explain to someone that is not a professional, on the short term, the euro can go up, and mostly what's happening is like profit taking on people that have been short euro a long time. And they're looking at parity. We're staring at, we're at 106 and 105, 104. And as we get closer and closer to parity, they see that as an important number. And they take profit. And that's why it goes up. And they wait to sell again, but at a higher level, because even an amateur in the market knows to sell high, buy low. So like, well, all right, they're taking profit, and they'll sell it, right? And it could be tomorrow, it could be April, right? The next sell could be October, right? So again, I was talking to someone and I said, well, like they had some money that they want to put in the Forex market, right? Yeah, throw a few million your way, right? I'm like, actually, keep your millions. Like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, nope, nope. The season's almost over. Yeah, we're getting ready for summer, right? It's almost like someone that spends the whole summer. Let's reverse it. It's like someone that spends the whole summer at a like a in a vacation area. Like the I don't know the south of France or something, right? And when the summer's over, you pack everything up. You put the storm shutters on all the windows. You put sheets over all the furniture. You turn off all the water, drain all the pool pipes, put the covers on that, and you get ready to like leave. And in some ways, Forex is like that, where when's prime time? September, October, November, December. When's the unwind? January, February, March, and then sort of April and May and June. You're just shooting at rabbits, right? Hey, what's up, Mikey? You're just kind of shooting at rabbits, right? Maybe you get a June Fed meeting that's live. Woohoo! Then what? July. Wah, wah, wah. Right? So it's funny, like, this is a great time of year, but it's a terrible time only to get started, right? What's the cliche? Someone shows up in April, and by the end of July and the beginning of August, they've proven that you can't make money. When will you? You're about a week and a half late. 2 weeks late. But anyway, so we'll get back. We'll get back going. So I guess in my weird way, that's what I'm talking about. Where we we've already identified a trend that was likely to appear, and then it appeared. So that's happening. So what's next, right? Guess we got to go to Kiwi. Let's do Kiwi. So after we run this wave, the waters get calm. They're warm, nice, warm, comfortable waters. But the waves go away. We're not going to be surfing. We're just going to be splashing around in the water, having a good time, right? So what's the mantra that I teach you guys? The mantra on this one is, you know, the last couple of weeks of December, you can get one wave of selling this pair, and then another wave sort of in the middle of January, right? First one sort of the middle of December as we approach the holidays. It's usually, just so you know, in my mind, it's the week after non-farm payrolls in December. Okay. The December Fed meeting obviously keeps the month live longer. But if we were not expecting any sort of central banking policy change out of the DECE meeting, out of the December meeting, then the market would dry up earlier, right? So, anyways, here's the first move, beginning or the middle of December. And now we're in this scenario here. I've actually already got it drawn, where this could be the new lower high, right? But we already knew that at the beginning of this week, right? How many people knew we were in that mode, looking to sell even a Kiwi yen this week, and even last week? But let's just start with this week. Sunday, like you thought about it over the weekend, right? You knew on Saturday. You're sitting there. What are you asking on Saturday when the markets are closed? What are you praying for, if you want to use that word? Please, 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 M3, right? Right? I've taught you that much, right? Over the months and years of hanging out, you just know a specific price. 81.74, please. 81.74. I want to sell at 81.74. Please open up at 81.74. Right? So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with cream. So 9 people can confirm that they've been taught that, right? Whether it happened or not is irrelevant, because if you don't do it this time, you'll do it next time. Or eventually you'll do it, but you know it, right? And isn't knowledge the power, right? That is the power, right? So I've taught you, so it's doable. It's doable. So, anyways, we look at Kiwi yen, and it opened up the week, touched M3, and turned red. That's a coincidence, right? Just a random walk. Just a random walk. It's just a coincidence. Just total luck. There's no way that that was predictable. Remember, you know, uh, right? Remember, I'm told by very well-informed professors at Harvard University, that the market is unpredictable and you cannot beat the market. And I'm like, are you stupid or something? How'd you like to be in that position? Like, oh my God, this sucked to be you, right? So, yeah, so anyways, M3, what's our target? Of course I didn't say that. I have to get my grades. Hey, I can write, when I write my PhD thesis, I can tell the whole world to go to hell if I wanted to. Because I'll say I'm a genius and you guys just don't understand, right? But I can't do that when I'm a student. My number one job is not to be smart. My number one job is not to get educated. My number one job is to get an A. Yeah. You know, Ryan, a lot of these professors are very wealthy. They know a lot of people and they sell a lot of textbooks, but there's a lot of very wealthy Harvard professors. No, these guys do a lot for like big banks and stuff. You know, Harvard's one of these schools, like literally, like, all right, you can go to Harvard at $6 million. Come on, give me the money. You can come in, just give me the money. You don't have to be the best. You need $6 million. Yeah, it's sort of like Canada. Canada sells visas like that. You want to come to Canada? $6 million. Come on, come on. We'll give you a visa. Oh, you want to bring your wife and children? All right, $10 million. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. $10 million. Come on. They do it. That's Canadian immigration. And by the way, I believe the UK is looking at Canada's system and they're going to copy it for their new UK system. Yeah, totally. Fast pass machines over there, ATM over there. That's not too bad, Mark. Malta. So, anyways, getting back to this, I do believe the market's predictable, obviously. And so our target is 80.50 on the conservative side, but I already got a lower side marked at 80.17. But I believe I did do this for you yesterday, right? I mean, at least I can see I have it marked up. I might have done this for you last week. But anyways, so down, down, down. And of course, the wicked awesome thing, and this is, you got to remind yourself, because I'm not doing it to blow my own horn, toot my own horn, or whatever the saying is. I'm doing it to reinforce stuff that I did talk about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 months ago. I mean, honestly, right? So it's not tooting my own horn. I'm drilling home facts, factual information. Back here, this is the election. That was unpredictable. Okay. Not that he won, but the market took a lot of people out. But going back to way down here, I mean, September, we knew in September, right? We wanted to be long this pair. 100%, right? We knew it in August that we would want to be long this pair in September, right? Right? How many people knew that? That you could say in February 2016, you knew for a fact that we would spend the end of August preparing long positions on yen pairs so that we could be long and strong September, October, November, December. How many people know that for a fact? In February of 2016, that in August we were preparing for a big September, October, November, December move up. Right? Fact. Right? Factual, right? And then what happens in December, January? Look at this move, guys. Just ridiculous. And then what did you know back in February we would be doing in December, January? We'd be dumping this, right? We were going to corner the market and then dump it, right? It's shocking, isn't it? Yeah. So, to reinforce what I'm teaching here, because that's what a good teacher does, on Saturday when the markets were closed, you already knew you wanted to be short this, and you even knew the price. Somewhere between 81.50, 81.42, right? 81.74. So in a 30 pip range, you knew where you wanted to get short. Don't even talk about maybe getting short. You even knew the price. Now that's trading with confidence, right? So if you had $1 million, would you do it? No, no, of course not. Why not? Well, let's say you're a very good trader. What's your return in 1 year? 50%? If you're conservative, right? That's really good compared to other asset classes, but you do have leverage. So you made $500,000. How much do you get to keep? 20%? That's only $100,000. Can't live on that. So you're going to need 10 million because nothing would change. You just need more assets under management. So you need to be, trade your $1 million for a couple of years, 2, 3 years, and maybe get some more clients and bump that up to 10 million. Because then at least you can, right, survive on $1 million a year, right? You can survive on $1 million, obviously. So your bare minimum is you're going to need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 million. But the problem is you have to average 50% return per year. And that's a high return. Because remember, if you're getting high returns, you're exposing you and your clients to potentially high losses. So you say to yourself, well, I don't really need $1 million a year to live a decent life. So maybe you cut your leverage in half when you get to 10 million. So now your clients face half the risk they used to. You face half the risk you used to, but you have to survive on 500,000. You know what I mean? But even that might be enough. So you lower the leverage even more. So your clients are exposed to less risk. You're exposed to less risk. And now you got to get by on 250,000. Your clients face very little risk, receive reasonable return. Just a thought. Yeah, how big your well, what of course what happens, James, is very quickly you increase your nut, as they say, right? And all of a sudden, you're really good at spending money. See, when you trade your own money, you realize very quickly that every time you spend money, you're like, I could have turned that $1 into $3 if I had just left it alone. Over time, it would be $3. So all of a sudden, everything starts looking expensive. Like, really? A Porsche for $140,000? And you think about it, like, how long did it take me to increase my trading account by 140,000? And then what would that draw my account down to? And then how would that change my lot size? And all of a sudden, you're like, you know what? I want to drive a golf cart because I just don't want to draw down my account. I want my account to grow bigger and bigger and bigger so I make more and more money. But then I don't want to spend that money because I want it to grow even bigger and bigger. And probably the best Forex traders you'll ever come across that trade their own money never spend a dime because they're infatuated with growing their trading account. And they're like, "Oh, you bought a Ferrari? Pfft, who cares? I'm an idiot. Who cares, right? Grow your trading account, man. Be a trader. Because you spend your money, now you're not a trader. Like, well, I used to be a Forex trader, but I spent all my money. I got this car. I bought a car. Really? Wow, that must be really important to you. What kind of idiot spends $300,000 on a car? You know what I mean? Yeah. Look, if you got a $300,000 car, you better have at least 300 million in the bank. Otherwise, you're just an idiot. Hi, 40% of my net worth, 80% of my net worth is in my car. What a loser, right? So, anyways, I think honestly, when you run into like real currency traders that's just sit at home and trade their money, they don't spend it. They don't spend it. The only guy that spends money is when it's other people's money. Think about it. Honestly, think about it. Yeah, Porsche in a trailer park. Excellent. That 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 should I should have a T-shirt that says that, right? Something like that, right? Yeah, Shug's right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys get it, right? Obviously, I'm exaggerating for effect and all this kind of stuff, but it's true, right? It comes down to your trading account. And so in my book, I actually tell you, figure out the least amount of money you need to make so that you can pay for your wife and your children or your spouse and your children and your rent and health care and stuff and stay at that level for as long as you possibly can. I actually say that in my book. Nobody says stuff like that. And pay yourself the least amount possible for as long as you can possibly stand it so that your trading account grows, your leverage falls because your lot size doesn't grow as fast, and get yourself down to you have this giant trading account and you're a very good trader, you're exposed to very little risk, and because of the lot size and your trading behavior, you earn more than enough now to take care of all your basic needs. And you can't even really get your lot size any lower relative to your account size because it becomes stupid. So now you're fully funded and completely independent the rest of your life. You know what I mean? That's at 9:30. It's 8:10. You guys see what I mean though? That pretty soon it's just an income producing business. You got to look at it like a small business. What do you do? Well, I do a couple of things that are weekly swing trades. And depending on what's going on and the time of year, I do some day trading. And based on seasonality, I do some position trades. So I do three different things, you know, at different times of the year for different reasons. Versus someone just sitting down and just look for a scalp, look for a scalp, look for a scalp, buy this, sell that, buy this, sell that. You, have you tried it that way? Doesn't it become like water over a stone? Like it's just relentless grinding, and it's also becomes you get so caught in the minute details that you don't even see the stone wearing down. You just feel like it's constant, right? Constant. Can never turn your back on the market, right? Right? Or you could say, well, in the last quarter or the last half of the year, I looked at position trades. I look for position trade, right? And then I unwind that in January. And then I look for swing trades throughout the year, the weekly swing trades. And I see opportunities maybe 2/3 of the time, maybe half the time. Some parts of the year, like July, I don't work at all. I just spend the time out with my family at the beach. You know, and you're describing this year to somebody. They're like, "What?" Yeah, yeah. I just go to the beach in July. Wow, that sounds great, right? I do a lot of work at the end of the year. I'm really busy. Have you have you tried honestly tried swing trading? Meaning all you do is your Monday morning setup? Yeah, of course it's your main part. What did you do this week? Oh, I shorted Kiwi in. Well, what did you do with the rest of the week? Mm, I did some yard work, worked in the roses. I walk the dog every morning. Does that count? So, well, let me tell you, it's easy when you know the direction. So, right. Ben asked a great question. How come volley bands, right? How come I don't use volley bands much? Well, what do they tell you? I mean, volatility and stuff, right? But I don't really, I don't know. They don't seem to tell me anything that I don't already know. You know what I mean? So just maybe for clarity, I don't use them as much. There used to be a couple of things like a not in a million years type trade and stuff. Um, I don't know. I guess I spend even less time on a 15-minute chart than I used to because I'll do things on 4 hour daily. Okay. Then I make a decision. So I look at this, I'm like, yeah, you know, like right in here, right? Like if you were going to do, this is the lower high that I was waiting for kind of thing. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm a bear. Now I can skip a lot of process, right? So you see the opportunities here. So here's the triangle, right? So if you were with me 10 years ago, we used this 15-minute chart almost exclusively. Was anyone trading with me 10 years ago? I think the only change to this chart, let me get rid of this thing. I think the only change to this chart is I would have used daily pivots. All right. No, no one with me 10, 11, 12 years ago? Really? Hmm. All right. So this is what my charts would have looked like 10 years ago. That's it, honestly. Boom. There's, right? There's the big difference. Okay. And what we would have done is we would have sold this and we would have considered this. Okay. Another thing we could have done is sold this. We could have sold this. And that's it. That's the only thing we would have done so far today. No, why? Because of this, we're a bear. As of this point, lower low, lower high. Okay? So as of this, we're a bear. So now you go to a 15-minute chart and you sell when it's overbought or 5/8 crosses down. Okay? This is an op to sell in here. This is an op to sell in here. This I would have found mediocre, especially with the daily pivot right there. So we probably would not have sold this area. Okay? It's just maybe, depends on how aggressive you were. Okay? Yeah. So in regards to a moo trade, that would be something that we would be looking at now, and that would be the next a move in here. Okay. 10 or 15 years ago, I did not use a 5-minute chart, so we would have had to sit and wait here. And that's where the frustration comes in because I was so conservative that I would have to sit and wait like an hour and a half to sell this. Okay. But that's it. I'd be done for the day. That'd be it. What'd you do today? Oh, sold the 5A cross, looking for a Stoke cycle. Right? Yeah, well, the funny thing is, 15 years ago, you couldn't get a text on your cell phone. People in America didn't text. I remember I was in Finland, I guess it would have been in 1997. 97. Yeah, 97. Something like that. I was in Finland in 1997, and they were texting each other. They had to like hit 111777777 to get the little code. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Texting. Like, why wouldn't you just call? Because again, this is even before most people even had email. Like, why wouldn't you just call them? Oh, it costs money to call. Well, then why do you have a cell phone? Oh, it's free to text. So you have to type out all these stupid messages. LOL. Just was easier to type. The other thing is, we're watching Formula One racing. I'm like, who the hell watches Formula One racing? I know it's huge, not in America. But I'm like, really? And then they get out a little racing game on their stupid little Nokias. And they actually networked each other and they raced each other on their cell phones in 1997. It still doesn't happen in America. It's just amazing. Well, the only people that watch NASCAR are people in the South. So that's the southeastern region of the United States. Anyways, yeah. No, but I'm just saying back then, uh, yeah, NASCAR would have been bootleggers. But anyways, I digress. So that, yeah, so nothing's changed. Imagine that. All these years, and nothing's really changed. Cool, right? So now, so over the course of time, so like after, let's say, 5 or 6 more years of experimentation, I started saying, well, I already know I want to sell this, so why do I have to wait for a 15-minute 5A cross? Why can't I do like a 5-minute 5A cross? Because I've already made the decision. Why do I have to wait? Okay, that's it, man. That's trading. So you should look at it like a career, like a season, if you will. No, I don't want to look at that one today. How about oil instead? It's getting dark, too dark to sleep. So oil fell yesterday. Did we cover oil yesterday? Yeah. I remember it now. It was just under 54 bucks, right? So did I say oil would go up yesterday, or did I say it was going to go down yesterday? How do you remember it? Ryan's is down. Ron's is down. This is down. Huh. Well, thank goodness. Does anyone remember the target? 52. Sorry, man. My bad. It only went down to 52.38. Sorry. Shh. My bad. Sorry. Binary options are no longer available at TradersWay. Way I understand it is the international rules changed, and the stupid, pathetic governments took it away from you because you might hurt yourself. Sorry. So it's not us. It's, it's the evil governments. I really liked them. It was a neat concept. There's also a lot of scumbags involved in the industry too, so I guess it makes sense. But that's how Forex used to be as well. So instead of prohibiting it, they should just simply get rid of the scumbags and legitimize it. There's a lot of things I liked about because I find options complicated. So I've passed the Series 3, which is very complicated and includes a whole section on options. And I don't like them. They don't fit my personality because you need a piece of paper and a calculator to figure out if you made any money or if you lost money. Well, if we do the spread and we long this and do that, and well, if the spread between the two narrows, we make money, and if it widens, we lose, and this and that, and I'm like, oh my god, just my brain doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. Well, Kareem, they're almost all the same broker, Kareem. They're almost all go through like what is it, spot option. I talked to the guys that set it up many years ago when it first came available. I really liked it. I liked that it wasn't a complicated options platform. It was like up or down, and I liked that. And I liked the way that the software worked. And so I talked to some of the guys that were like the founders of that organization, and he was telling me things like the key to success is customer service. But of course, the name of the game is to get someone to put 500 bucks into an account, and they blow up their $500 account, but you've made the $500 profit, and blah 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 blah. So then so there were aspects that I liked, but it wasn't mature enough as an industry yet, right? But it looked very interesting. And then the one in the United States, what was it called? They the company actually started near my old California house, and it got bought and sold several times, and then became the big one now. Nadex, thank you. So when Nadex first became Nadex, when I was doing my research on binary options, I contacted them, and I got like I have some certification or registration or like I used to be like introducing broker with them or something. I can't remember. But I didn't like their setup because it was much more complicated than what was being offered through like a spot option or like what Traders Way had, where you just said sell, buy, it'll go up in the next 2 hours. I mean, I loved that simplicity. Nadex didn't have that. It was much more a traditional options platform. But the company before Nadex and the company before Nadex, so two companies ago, it started up as a little startup near my old California house. I think even when I was learning Forex or my early days of Forex, and they could do things like you could actually trade if you thought non-farm payrolls would be higher or lower. You could make a trade if you thought gasoline prices in the San Francisco Bay Area would go up or down. You could make a trade on if one team would win the Super Bowl or not. You could like there as long as you could get someone else on the other side of the trade, they would set it up. And it was really interesting. Real estate prices. You could you could trade that. And they they got licensed and registered to offer it as an instrument, and they were called like bitlets or something. I can't remember. There's some weird name for the instrument. So, but it just basically came down to a bet between you and someone else. It was really neat. No, they weren't a CDO, but it was very interesting. You see what I mean? So I'm telling you, I've been around long enough where I know the entire industry inside and out because I watched it, you know, be born. It's just pretty interesting, and I do like the concept, and I wish something good can be offered to everyone around the world. I think it is a neat way to trade. Now, the downside of binary options is you can never, ever, 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 ever let your winners run. So that's why amateurs get involved because they think it's great. They think it's great, right? You click one button. If you're right, how much money do you make? 80% return on investment, right? But if you lose, how much do you lose? 100%. See, it just doesn't make sense right off the bat. Right? You get better odds at Vegas. So if I buy pound yen, or let's say whatever, I buy a yen pair, I put up $1,000 of my money, and it gets me $100,000 worth of the currency pair, and I let it run profitably for 2 months. Do I make more than my $1,000? Hell yeah, I make $20,000. Forex rocks. Oh, but you'll also be paid interest. Awesome. Some binary monkey is trying to make his 80 bucks profit. Ooh, I made $80. Whatever. Yeah, if you make 2,000 pips, doing that's why you want to let your winners run. All right. So, anyways, so yeah, so oil. So once again, we thought oil yesterday would fall. Oh, it would fall. Great. But we also had this idea going back longer term that we are inherently bears, right? But anyways, do the math where it's if you lose 100 pips on the standard lot, you lose your $1,000. If it goes up for 2 months and you make 2,000 pips, like between November and December, then yeah, you have a $20,000 profit. Yeah, Well, that's what I said. $1,000, right? That's a full lot, right? Cool. So you see how important the bias is, but your bias should change on fundamental reasons, right? Now you should pay attention to technicals, but you see this drop here that tells you to buy it, right? This giant tells you should buy it, right? That the market is desperate to go up, right? Is that what that tells you? Like, man, the market is so desperate to get to go up. Oh, yeah. No, it clearly says drop it like it's hot. But after a big drop, people do lose money, right? Because what do amateur, unprepared, chase price amateurs do? What's the cliche here? An amateur waits to hear and then dumps it, right? So after a big drop and amateurs missed it, they want to sell, 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 and of course they lose their money. But you're a patient, disciplined trader, right? And also, does it influence your decision at all if you were a bear before this drop, right? That's a powerful notion, isn't it? So for a fact, as we got up to 55, I'm like, I'm a bear. 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 I'm still a bear. It's been going up for a week and a half. I'm still a bear. Yeah, I get it. OPEC created a deal. It's nonsense. It'll go up for a while and then it'll fall, right? I mean, that's the language we had, right? OPEC did a deal. Great. Good job, OPEC. There's no way in heck. See, I'll watch my language. There's no way in heck that that's actually going to work out. They're going to try, and I believe they believe they're going to try, but it's not going to work, right? I mean, that is the language, right? Game theory. I signed up for a class. I'm starting like next week. My textbooks arrived. Game theory suggests that a cartel inevitably will fail if it doesn't have a hegemonic power at the table. What happens to the Medellin cartel when Pablo Escobar is dead? The cocaine cartel falls apart. Who's in control of OPEC? The Pablo Escobar of, of oil is dead. That used to be the swing power, the swing producer of Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia isn't a swing producer anymore. They're at 100% capacity. They are not, by definition, a swing producer. The United States is. So OPEC has lost its hegemonic power. It's over. It won't work. They all signed the agreement. It ain't going to work. But that's my humble opinion. That's my alpha. I could be totally wrong here, but at least I wake up in the morning thinking, oh, 55 double top. Look at that. It's going to fall. That's my analysis. That's me. Moi. My opinion only. Because I've studied that. I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, maybe oil goes up. Hey, OPEC signed an agreement. Great. They'll cut. Great. Oil may go up. Fine. But you better make your decision, right? That's you, baby. So, and that's what it comes down to. And ideally, like, what if we had like an international conference where we all met somewhere? We get in a room. It would be great if everyone had their own opinion. And they're like, Wayne, you is crazy. No, let me tell you my opinion about oil production and OPEC and the whole, right? How much time did I put into my oil opinion? You guys know? I took an entire class over the course of 4 months. I read 2,000 pages of books, did 20 hours of lecture, did probably 10 hours of section, right? And learned the last 200 years of the oil industry almost on a day-to-day basis. That's not even game theory. This is a different class. I got an A plus. I got a 97. There were there were seven papers. Seven papers. I had to write like 25 pages worth of research on the oil industry on top of everything else I just told you. So I'm opinionated, but I'm informed. I might be crazy, but I believe I'm informed, and that belief in the in information, I guess, gives me a bias. My last class on international politics included game theory, and oil seems to be a big part of international politics. And we learned about cartels, huh, as part of game theory and various other scenarios in the international political economy. And I'm like, oh, I can translate that into my oil trades. A cartel without a hegemonic power. Hmm, I know how to play this. I know how to make money on this. Boom. But I could be wrong, right? That's the thing. That's what I love about it. I could be wrong. I, I could see how a bull could make money in this market. Don't you? Right? I can see how a bull could make money here. I have nothing against bulls. And remember, we said I actually said OPEC will definitely sign a deal. Right? How many people can confirm that? We knew for a fact they would sign a deal. They had to. They're desperate. They're they're desperate. Venezuela is desperate. Libya is desperate. Angola is desperate. Saudi Arabia is desperate. Iraq is desperate. Iran is desperate. Russia is desperate. These guys are desperate. They have to get oil prices up. They have to. Their societies are about to tumble. Venezuela is on fire. They have to have oil prices go up. They'll sign anything. Just what do I need to sign? Just give us something to sign, please. But none of them have the intention of carrying it out. Why? They're desperate. But they'll sign the paper. That's what I said, right? They'll sign the paper. Oil prices will go up, and then they will come back down, according to my nonsense, right? How cool is that? Love it. So, anyways, yeah, it went up to 55. Time to dump it. Makes you want to be like a floor trader. Yeah, because they don't exist anymore, right? I'm very, very, very glad to have stood on the floor of the Chicago Board of Trade because I think it doesn't even exist anymore. I think it's gone. But it would have been great to just walk into the pit like Paul Tudor Jones Oil is going up and up and up, and it hits 55, and then you just go in, you're like, dump it, sell, 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 and just people go nuts, and they keep buying into your selling. You're like, oh, it's up to 55.80, sell, 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 and all of a sudden people are freaking out, and no one's buying anymore. And whoop, 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 down she comes. Ha ha ha! That's me, baby. I just crashed the market. Start selling at 55, and now we're sitting down here at 52 and a half. Boom, destroyed people. That'd be fun, right? To look at you actually see the other people on the other side of your trade. Like, what's wrong with him? Oh, he just lost his entire life savings. Like, really? I'll take him out for lunch. He's a nice guy. Get him a Corona and a taco. Is that evil? Whoa, that sounded evil. No, dude, I'm just doing my job. Right? We don't see it on the other side, right? We don't see the person on the other side of our trade. So, anyways, what is the message then? I keep telling you what the messages are. What is the message here? That I'm an evil maniac? Or is there a message that you can take away? Have a bias and stick to it. I like that, Ryan. I like that one. Anybody else? Yeah, stay alive for another day. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. Swinging for the gates gets you smashed. Yeah. Knowledge gives you opportunity. Yeah, I like that one, Stephen. Yeah, spend time. Yeah, I mean, think of it, guys, right? I'm supposed to be the guru. I've been doing this for a long time. And look at how much effort and energy I put into it still. Like, seriously, the amount of effort I put into that class about oil. Remember, my professor for this oil class was a Russian PhD from Cambridge in the UK, and she was teaching at Harvard. And so, yeah, I wrote 6 or 7 papers, took a midterm and a final, read 2,000 pages about the whole entire industry. Went to, like I said, what was it, 16 lectures of 2 hours long, so 32 hours of lecture, and at least 10 or 12 hours of sections. How much time do you think I did personal research? How many newspaper articles do you think I read about what happened in the United Kingdom in 1979 as they were trying to, you know, as Thatcher was trying to get, the ability from her parliament to develop oil in the North Sea. And I mean, just like you know, or the the Yom Kippur War and how Nasser out of Egypt had to get involved with so and so people, and then the Saudis didn't want to get involved with that one, but they would fund it, and then there's the war, so that they had the war with Israel. And how did that lead to eventually the OPEC embargo, and what was Nixon's response, when it was all set up, and why didn't his administration respond to all the warnings and blah, blah. I mean, just like incredible amounts of detail going back for the 200 years to the first oil drilled in Pennsylvania by a guy named the Colonel. who stayed at it until he was personally bankrupt. And it was literally a drill into the ground, but the ground kept collapsing. So he put a pipe into the ground and then put his little corkscrew auger down and got the oil out. I mean, just like the whole history of everything. And I can bring that to the table. You want to trade oil? I'm an oil trader. Cool. But that's love. That's passion, isn't it? No? Ain't right? I mean, does it make me an arrogant prick, which I've been accused of many times, or is it somehow inspirational to say, there's, it's, it's worth the effort, and people do make that effort. And if you want to win, if you want to be in that top 5% that makes everything, then that's, where the bar is set. And I'm an idiot compared to the people that really run the industry, right? I'm a nobody. I'm a peon. I'm just, right? I'm just a currency trader trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents. But you at least have to beat me, right? But you're a cunning linguist, right? But you have to at least beat me. I'm the lowest bar. I'm the weakest link in the industry. You got to be, you got to work harder than me. So that's it, right? And I'm working as hard as I can, guys. I'm working as hard as I can. You can talk to my wife where she'll tell you that I haven't been sleeping evenings. And it depresses her because I never come to bed. And then she walks in to the house at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm laying on the couch, fast asleep because I'm taking a nap, and the phone with my MT4 charts are in my hand. In my hand, I'm actually asleep like this, holding the phone up, so that every 20 minutes I can go, oh, it's okay, and go back to sleep. Not a joke. Sleeping with my MT4 charts in my hand in the middle of the day because I haven't slept at night because the yens are moving. You got to beat that. And I'm the weak link. I'm the loser. I'm the peon. I'm the nobody. You know what I mean? Yeah, James says to do that, right? So now you know. See, the thing is, if you only knew, then you know. And you can, I know you can do it, right? Yeah, James in the car. Yeah. But that's how I was 15 years ago too, right? So anyways, I hope it's inspirational. You know the technical analysis. Come on, man. That's the easy part, really. Someone tells you the oil market's going to crash and you can't figure out how to trade it. Someone tells you all the yens are going to get super strong, gives you 7 or 8 or 10 weeks in advance preparation warning. You can't figure out how to trade it. But before that, you get told all the yens are going to go up. They're going to go up and up and up all the way to the end of the year. But you can't figure out how to trade it. Like, well, isn't the hard part knowing it's going to happen before it happens? Right? So you should be grateful and thankful that we have this community here, right? What if I change the rules? What if I said if you don't post a decent trade plan on Forex.Today and leave 3 comments, if you don't do that, what if I just kick you out? What do you do? How do you contribute? How do you make us stronger if you just lurk, right? Do the work. Come on, man up. Let's go. Let's get involved. Let's get active. Let's, right? You guys ready for that? I mean, come on, let's go. It's all here. Your success, your future. Your The future for your children. It's all here. It's on these charts. It's in our group in front of us. It's on Forex.Today where we can collaborate. If you just walk in, yeah, it looks nice, great. Now I'm going to log into the webinar. Wayne's going to entertain me for an hour. That's good. Good. Go on my day. I mean, dude, how does that benefit anybody? You have people posting charts every day and they're begging. They're begging. I'm telling you, they're begging for feedback. Please help me. And nobody does it. What the hell's wrong? Why? Come on. Fall in love. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's change the world. Criminy. Oh, you have to drag a chart into a thing and it pops open. You have to write some words and hit submit. It couldn't be any easier, right? Yeah, right. Dewey says, yeah, some of us do. Those are the people that are going to win this game, right? But let's, come on, this is a group. We love each other. We're passionate for each other. We want everyone to win. I'm pushing you in the right direction even, right? I mean, just, there are a group of what, 12, maybe 15 people that do hard work and post every day and the analysis is good. Maybe they don't all, not all the trades work out, but that's how it goes. But if there's another 50 people in this room right now, then that means even if only 20 feel confident enough to post trade plans every day, it's more than enough. Then every single post that gets put up on Forex.Today should have 20 or 30 people commenting. Am I right? Right? Even if you don't post your own because you don't feel confident enough in your own to post your own ideas, at least you could sit down and read the posts for those that are actually doing the work, spending the time, and you can look at it, read it, and leave a valuable comment. And I think if you're the type of person that does that, you will find a way to succeed. And the people that don't are the people that don't do the work and inevitably will not be successful as a trader. Because traders are the hardest working son of a guns you've ever come across. I've never met a lazy, successful trader. Never. Never once. Never, ever, ever once. They don't exist. Those people that are lazy are the liquidity events for the traders. Oh, I guess I'll try this. Look, trader just made profit. Oh, let me try that. Boom. Professional trader just made a profit. Oh, I bought this EA on eBay. It cost me $3. It's going to make me $1 million. Yeah, good. Hook it up. Boom. Professional just made a profit. Right? So I want you to succeed. I hope you get it. I'm screaming and yelling. It's because I love you, man. I want you to do it. I want you to succeed, but you got to earn it. You have to earn it. So let's regroup tomorrow, huh? Thank you for being involved. Thank you for being on my team. Thank you for being here today. I am very grateful to have you in my life. I say it almost every day, but I actually mean it. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. But let's do this thing, huh? Let's get it done. Let's move you to the next step, like now. Cheers.